All right. Welcome everybody to the Friday evening call. Coming to you live from Southern California, Orange County. My name is Christopher Kim. I'm a national director here at Riman North America. For those of you that are joining the call, welcome. And in the chat box, please let me know where you guys are tuning in from so we could show the Queen of Riman, Miss Karen Kang, some love. Let her know where you guys are tuning in from. Let's show her some hospitality. This is a Team DBK and Team 1% collaboration. All right, Cincinnati, Ohio. We got Vegas in the house. We'll see you there in a few weeks. San Diego, Houston, Texas. We got Los Angeles, Singapore. Man, we got some international things happening. Coatepec, Hilo, Hawaii. Man, we got everywhere. LAX, San Gabriel, Australia's in the house. Monterey Park, Wyoming, San Juan, Puerto Rico, OC, Phoenix, Atlanta, Georgia. And the list keeps going on and on. So wherever you're from, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. We are coming to you live with the Riman community. So with that said, before we jump into our highly anticipated interview, we are going to be going over some announcements. So with that said, I'm going to turn the screen back on, go over some brief announcements, something important and some of the things that we should be mindful of. So first things first, I'm going to make some announcements regarding Riman Retreat. We're going to kind of break down how the point system works. And after that, after the announcements are done with our guests, we're also going to talk about the importance of Riman Retreat and what that actually does for your business. All right, so if you guys are in the Asia market or if you have teams in the Asia market, all Asian planners will be participating in Phuket, Thailand. This is one of the most iconic destinations, especially for a summer trip. You know, mangoes and massages galore. We will see you there spring 2027. And for those of you that are in North America, Canada, and Viva Mexico, we are going to be headed to the Bahamas. When I heard we were going to the Bahamas, I instantly asked, are we going to the Atlantis? And corporate told me, silly, that place is 25 years old. We're going to the new place, and it's called the Baha Mar, and it rivals the Atlantis. It's new, it's grand. You guys got to be there. Regardless of rank, this is going to be based on performance. So as long as you do the work, we will see you in the Bahamas. All right. So for those of you that are running teams in Europe, or if you're from the European market, you will be headed to the wonderful country of Monaco. Yes, the country of billionaires. And if you're a millionaire, you are considered poor. Anyways, we'll see you guys in Monaco, and we're going to kind of go over the qualifications. There are 4 tiers how you can make it there. 1,000 travel points will get you to tier 1 and you make it in the door. 1,500 travel points will get you to tier 2 with a trip for 1 and you get a $500 airfare reimbursement. And for tier 3, we have 2,500 travel points at tier 3 for a trip for 2 and you get a $1,000 airfare reimbursement. And 3,000 travel points will lock you in at tier 4 for a trip for 2 and a $2,000 airfare reimbursement. That should be more than enough to cover flights. This is considered an all-inclusive trip, and we will see you there. So how do you actually earn these travel points? The important thing is actually doing the required work anyway, right? Whether you want to get rank advanced, whether you want to bring on a customer, whether you want to make commissions, whatever it is, do the already necessary money-making activities, and by default, you're going to accrue points. So how this works is for retail customer orders you do, every 100 SP is going to be 1 travel point, and you're going to max out at 5 travel points. Now, if you are a team leader or a director, stay qualified, right? Stay qualified in your open line business. And for doing so, for 10,000 SP as a team leader, you get 40 travel points. You double that, you get another 40. You triple that, another 40, right? As a director, stay qualified at 100,000 SP. You will be awarded 100 travel points. Same thing. You do 200, you get an additional, so on and so forth. And as you can see, in light of convention, we are at the doorstep of the August convention, and it's great promotions like this that tips the scale, because during these special events, you're going to be able to earn additional travel points throughout the year through convention packages, special promotions, maybe product launches. As you know, in June, we did a 2x, 3x travel point blitz. Pay attention to those and you will be able to maximize your travel points. Obviously, you want to rank advance, right? So for hitting the position of manager, you're going to be awarded 20 travel points, senior manager 50 travel points, team leader 200 travel points, director 500 travel points, senior director 750 travel points, and national director 1,000 travel points. So I'm sure Miss Karen Kang scooped up that 1,000 travel points. So I'm sure she's going to be having a bunch of upgrades. We're excited to see what that director trip also is going to look like. Also, as you know, every orientation, we talk about the senior manager game plan, the team leader game plan. The building blocks and the foundation of this business is senior manager. How fast you can be one, how fast you can replicate and show someone how to do it. And if you can build layers and layers of leaders of senior managers, one day you can become like Karen Kang and become a national director. So for leadership, for every new planner that you sponsor frontline and you help them become a senior manager, every time you do this, you are going to be awarded 30 travel points to do so. Okay. All right. So, as you know, in a few short weeks, we will be meeting everybody for the Riman North America Convention for fall 2026. We will be commencing our convention at the iconic MGM Grand, August 7th through the 9th. This is an iconic place, and also Vegas is a place where special memories, team building, and bonding is made. We're going to have a lot of fun. So for 2026 Riman Convention, it is at the MGM Grand, August 7th through the 9th. Make sure you guys scan this QR code. As of now, through the event, single ticket prices have jumped to $169. Scan the QR code, or please reach out to your team leader, director, senior director, and national director. Obviously, in the month of July, we have some amazing senior manager bonuses. Like I had said, the anchor of this business is all about how many senior managers you create, how fast you can create it, and how fast you can replicate yourself, right? So remember, compensation drives behavior, and we want to drive the right behavior, right? So for new planners starting in July, this is the ticket to your first faith check. Okay, so any new planner with an enrollment date in the month of July who achieves senior manager within 30 days of enrollment will earn a $300 cash fast start bonus. And the sponsor gets to win too. So the person that actually helped you become a senior manager, they will be compensated $200 cash as a sponsor bonus. So how to qualify? Start as a new planner during the month of July. As long as you lock in a July start date, you got 30 days, achieve senior manager in 30 days, and just earn your $300 fast start bonus. And the sponsor that helped you and went on that run, they're going to collect and scoop up $200 with you. For those of you that are in the Asia Pacific region, this is a special promotion for the month of July. Again, as I said, the building blocks of our compensation is about creating many, many, many senior managers. So in the Asia Pacific region, we have a new incentive promotion for the upline. So the upline that sponsors a new senior manager, that sponsor is going to scoop up $500 for every single senior manager they promote. Imagine frontlining 5 brand new planners and promoting all of them to senior manager. That's going to be a $2,500 scoop up just like that, right? So remember, it's all about the building blocks, putting in the time and the time investment to get it done. All right, so I'm going to go over some few announcements and schedules on Saturday. As you know, we are commencing the Riman Mandarin events. So we have training, and we have our director, Miss Alice Chow, that will be commencing Riman Opportunity in Mandarin. This is open to everybody. If you have Mandarin speakers, feel free to plug in. Also on Monday, we have the one and only president of sales, Mr. Danny Bay, leading the charge every Monday morning. I would consider this our cup of coffee for team leaders and higher. If you are a senior manager, get it wrapped up. You are a team leader candidate. You belong in this meeting. Starting your week right, it just changes the trajectory on everything. And also for Monday, for those of you that have Espanol leaders or people that speak Spanish, we have the Riman Revealed commencing July 27th in Mexico, 7 p.m. CDMX time. Also Monday, we also have a Riman overview with the wonderful Miss Susan Manuelo, July 27th. So for those of you that have prospects, make sure you get your guests on board. And on Tuesday, we have our company-sponsored Riman North America orientation call brought to you by newly promoted directors and some leaders here. You're going to be able to hear their story and hear some wonderful, fabulous training. Also on Tuesday, we have the Riman HQ European orientation training. So for those of you that have guests or team members in the UK, Ireland, Spain, and Italy, this is the perfect chance to plug your teams in. It is a great support system brought to you by HQ in UK. All right. So Wednesday, as you know, we also have our Riman K pop-up training brought to you by director Leah Lavoie. Make sure you guys plug in July 29th. And on that same day, July 29th, 7 p.m. CDMX time, we have our Riman orientation in Espanol. So make sure you guys get this information sent out and plugged in. Also on Thursday, we have our Riman Reveal presentation brought to you by HQ. We have the wonderful Susan Manuelo and Jermaine Johnson leading the charge. And on Thursday, I will be hosting Riman HQ's European Opportunity Revealed. This is going to be 10 a.m. Pacific time. This is a corporate sponsored event. So make sure you guys, if you have people out there, get your prospects on. We are one team. We are going to be fully supporting you so that you can expand your business in these markets. And for those of you that are local in the Southern California market, every Thursday, we are hosting a 12-week curriculum on how to be the best version of yourself in this business at the House of Riman, Irvine, California. Make sure you come. Usually at the end of 12 weeks, we throw a pizza party, hang out, and build camaraderie. We will see you there, and we are excited to make sure that training gets completed for its second round. All right, so next week's guest, we have the fabulous social influencer, Miss Kate Twig. Due to her busy schedule, she will not be live, but we were able to get a recording. It is an amazing golden nugget drop. So we will be seeing you guys next week with top producing director, Miss Kate Twig, for this training module. All right, so let's get to the main event. All right, so the main event today is the highly anticipated interview. This is a special Team DBK and Team 1% collaboration, with her busy schedule, her busy career, her family. She has graciously given us the time for an interview. So without further ado, in the chat box, can you throw up a 1 welcoming the Queen of Riman, first national director, female in North America, Miss Karen Kang? Welcome to the call. We love you, and we are so honored you are here. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you all.
So much. Well, let's get down to business. First things first, Miss Karen Kang, we're really grateful for your time. One thing I want to touch upon before I get into your story, I want to talk about the Riman retreats before we kick off this interview. I got to spend some time with you there. I see you at almost every Riman retreat. When I first got started, you had just got back from a Riman retreat. And, just every Riman retreat is a special journey of its own. But I want you to encourage our audience tonight the importance of Riman Retreat. It's not just a trip, it is also a curriculum and a part of the business. But can you share with the audience tonight why it's important to go, what you experienced there, what actually happens within the team, and the afterthought? Can you tell us what you've experienced and how that's helped your business grow?
Sure, absolutely. Oh, I find so much value in the Riman retreats, and anybody on my team will know how much we stress qualifying, and we go over it every single week because, of course, the first one we didn't know. We all, it was my first one. We all tried our best to qualify. We got there and we realized, wow, this is the chance to celebrate each other. It's completely different from convention. It's completely different from being on Zoom. It's a relaxing time, but also that's when all the bonding happens. And why I believe it's so important to get and qualify for these events is because this is what keeps your team together. So
Yeah.
this is where, like, in order to have a successful business, you have to keep forming these bonds and people will keep showing up for the community. So let's say these are the events that keep the people together when momentum dies or when they're having burnout or when they're frustrated because 10 people said no. But once you form these relationships in person in a more relaxed setting at these retreats, this is what keeps I believe it's like the glue that holds the team together. And so I literally like a mad woman tried to get so many people to qualify, always checking everyone's travel points, putting in our team chats, who has qualified, who has qualified, and putting it out there so that it excites everybody else to try to get to qualify. And honestly, it's not that difficult. I'm just going to say it. It's not that difficult to qualify. So every single Riman retreat, whenever they announce it, I never want the team, I'll never ask the team to do something that I'm not willing to do. So I'm pretty sure always when the first person to qualify is me, which is usually within the
Leading
first
from the front.
30 days.
Leading from the front.
Okay. Yeah. I do it within the first 30 days that it's launched so that I can tell them, look, I already got the 1,000 points. Let's get everybody else. Like, let's go. Now I know what we need to do. Let's talk to more people. because really the magic happens there. If you can get to the Remon retreat, that's where the true bonding is going to happen. That's where sidelines get to know each other. I mean, more than it being, yes, it's fun. It's just so much fun. Okay. But I believe this is what's going to carry the team forward for the next 6 months, 9 months, even 12 months. If you can get someone to qualify for the Remon retreat. And there's nothing like watching the eyes of a first timer at a Remon
Yes.
retreat.
Yes. 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 Yes.
They're blown away. So I never like to overhype. Okay, I'm not an overhyper. And I always tell them, trust me, I can't overhype the Remon retreat because it's that good. And I can say that with confidence because every new person that qualifies every time comes and afterwards they're almost like thanking me. I'm like, I had nothing to do with this. Like you got there on your own. Like
You
this is
did it.
all you, but they're so grateful with tears in their eyes. This is where, the transformation takes place and it's more than on the surface. It's deep within. And then they look forward, they will qualify for the next one because they know that the magic happens there and they cannot wait to see now we were all planners, but they're friends again. And I believe it's these friendships and the community that will continue to keep, everybody together at Remon.
Amazing. I have one more question regarding this before we move on. So, to the new person, right? Like a manager, planner, senior manager, like those three positions, like there's people in your team, our team, that in their mind, it's like such a great like achievement, but then they feel like they can't do it, like and they need the upline support and that hump. Like, can you walk somebody through how you got over that fear or like, not feeling worthy or like like this feels too far away. I'm not going to be able to do it. But then, as people in your system follow you and you lead them, you kind of turn back and see it's not that hard as we go, right? Can you walk our audience like what that emotional roller coaster looks like? Because people think they
Yeah.
can't achieve it.
Okay, for like travel points or rankings, both, basically any
Yeah, just
goal.
just to qualify, right? Just to qualify
Okay.
and be able to go.
So in order to qualify, you basically have to sell more kits, right? You're either ranking, which means you sold some kits, or you're selling kits, which means you're talking to more people. And this business, it really isn't skill set. It's the person with the strongest mindset. Again, I don't believe that this is talked about enough. That yes, we're in the business of sales and we're selling products and all of this, but it's the person with the strongest mind and it's the person with grit and consistency that will ultimately win. This business is really about who has the strongest mindset because why? You need to be able to go ask somebody to try the products. You need to be able to withstand the rejection. You need to be able to take the rejection and not let it get to you. Like you literally, I think the most important part of this business is um, asking, not worrying what other people think. Okay. If you fall into that trap, it will completely ruin your business. If
Mm.
you build knowing that you know where you're headed, you know that you want to qualify for this, you're going to have to talk to a lot of people. You need to get these points. You're going to rank to senior manager, get those extra travel points. You're going to rank to team leader, get the few hundred extra travel points from there. Once you become a team leader, you get volume travel points. Okay. For meeting your 10,000, you have to meet it anyways. For meeting your 10,000, you get travel points, right? So you have to get past that. It's literally just getting over wondering what other people are going to think. If
Mhm.
you cannot break out of that, you will never succeed at Remont. In fact, you may not succeed at many things that you do in life. Okay, that's the most important thing. Especially as we get older, everybody here is over 18, right? You have to be over 18 to be a distributor. I think the average age at Remont is probably mid to mid 40s, mid 50s. This is our last chance. This is like everybody's last hurrah to really, be a part of something where you could make life-changing income.
Yes.
Don't worry what everybody else thinks. The most important thing is just own it. You have to just own the fact that you are Riman. You know what's crazy? I'm just gonna say this because I have it right here. I used to spend $1,000 on something that people would never see. What they may see it because I pull it out at the dinner table, which were makeup bags. Okay. I was changing makeup bags like, they were going out of style. I needed a Prada one, a Gucci one, every single kind. I don't even, I've been carrying this free one for when did this come out? 2 years ago, right? Because I want whoever looks at me, I want them to see Riman. Like I
The
am
art of
Riman.
promotion. The art of
Yeah,
promotion. Karen cracked the code.
exactly.
You cracked the code on that.
Just own it. Okay. You have to just own it. So qualifying for a Riemann retreat, if you know that this is going to literally be like a one step further in getting you where you want to be and getting your team where you want to be, then you need to like embrace everything about Riemann and just own it.
Yeah.
Never worry what somebody might think of you. You have to be having so much fun. All you have to do is ask how many people to try the products. And then once you qualify for the Remon retreat, post so many photos and videos of having fun that everybody who either bought from you is like, dang, maybe I should join her team. Or,
Yep.
man, I should have said, oh, okay, wow, what is this? Okay, maybe I will give it a try. Do you know what I mean? That's the environment that we're trying to create.
Man, Miss Karen Kang, like you hit it on the nail. Like you hit it in my heart when you said this is our last hurrah at our age. This is our chance to create something special and like that last ticket to sail off into the sunset. You know what I mean? Now, I want to talk about sailing off into the sunset because we're gonna dive into your story, but you are the queen of part-time. Okay. Because when I started in the industry, the promise was work full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune, and you're going to make more part-time on your fortune than you do on your full-time job. I had a different career path, so I didn't get to do that. But watching you live that career. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Karen Kang is already an established, financially established, successful woman. Like she's that song Neo made Miss Independent. He probably thought of her when he wrote that song. Okay, so Miss Karen Kang didn't need the money. Okay, but she took on the challenge because the product was so great. But the attitude of refusing to give up the career and still building something big, that's the magic. That's the magic Jim Rohn talks about. Brian Tracy talks about. That's really the American dream, having a lot more money and time on your hands. But before we get into the network marketing journey, I want to talk about who Karen Kang is, where you're from, your upbringing. Let people know the human Karen Kang. Tell us your story.
Okay. So I come from I'm born and raised in Southern California, but in a very, I would say, lower middle class. Okay. My mom's a pastor and my dad was a struggling entrepreneur. However, I grew up very happy. And I think this is when I look back at why I'm the way that I am with so much grit and very healthy self-esteem. So not arrogance or overconfidence, just a healthy self-esteem. Okay. Is because I grew up in a very loving household where my parents just thought that we were like the most beautiful and the best kids ever, right? And so growing up with parents like that, it really helped, even though we didn't have the biggest house or the nicest cars and things like that. I grew up in a very happy household. Okay, so that was one part of it. But I also, at a certain age, I realized, oh, there's a difference between us and like those people who are driving to church in a Mercedes or, when you're young, you have no clue. Everybody's equal, right? And then all of a sudden it dawns on you, oh, wow, they have a lot more than I do, right? And at a very young age, I decided, okay, I'm going to grow up and make money for myself. And it's so funny because it was nothing more than realizing maybe Chris, you'll know, maybe Gigi, you'll know, but there were these shoes when I was in junior high, 12 years old, called Keds, like white shoes
Yes.
with a little blue. Okay, we didn't buy Keds. I got the imitation at Mervyn's. You remember Mervyn's?
Yes, Mervin.
So that was the day I realized, oh, there's a difference between people who can afford the kids. And they weren't expensive. I think they were $25, right? But I got the $10 one and I was fine. But I realized then, like, oh, okay, I need to like make money so I can wear the kids, right? There's a difference between us and them. And so at a very young age, I got into this high school, which is the number one high school in California. And it's been for years, okay? And I didn't think that I was very smart because these kids were geniuses. I'm talking, a school where you have 20 something valedictorians out of 100 kids, that
Destined to
kind of
go to
level.
Harvard and all that.
Yeah. And everyone's just trying to get a 1600 on their SAT. I knew I couldn't get a 1600. So what did I do? I was like, oh, I'm going to make money. So I leveraged the fact that I'm a 14-year-old at the number one school in California. I can't get the 1600. I'm gonna go tutor kids and let these parents know that I go to this school and I can get your kid in, right? So at
Wow.
14, instead of everybody who's studying after school to get a 1600, I created my own tutoring service. And
Wow.
I went around tutoring kids after school, making 20 to $40 an hour. And
Nice.
that was my high
And that
school.
was like what in the 90s, right?
This is 1990. This is 1990.
Dang, dude,
1990.
$40 an hour in 1990, that's like $100 an hour.
Yeah. So that's
Talk
what I
about
did.
entrepreneur at
I,
14. You're a genius, dude.
Dude, I was like, oh, everyone's trying to get their kid into this school. I'm going to turn this into a little business. Okay. So I had this like little entrepreneurial mindset from when I was young. Okay. And I always just tried to do the best I could with what I had. Right. But one thing always from a little kid, I just did stuff without worrying what other people thought. As I mentioned at the last convention, I said that I was on the track team and I lost every single race. You guys remember that? I tried out for the track team, but I showed up to every race because I thought, what if this is the race that I come second to last? I wasn't even trying to get first. There was no way I could place. I'm 5'2". These girls are like 5'11", right? But I would show up to every single race because I thought this is the race that I'm going to come in second to last. Okay. But so having that mindset, I went to USC, I studied math. I wanted to become a math professor, but I ended up going the investment banking route by accident because I took a part-time job. I mean, I took a job while waiting to go to grad school. So I was going to go to grad school in New York and to Columbia, but I'm one of those people I have to do a lot of stuff. And so I went to go get a job. And this job was at a financial firm. And I was only
Wait, so
going to
you were
stay
trying to
there.
get an MBA?
I was going to get a master's in I wanted to be a math professor.
Well, you got an MBA here in Riman, massive bank account. The
That's
MBA here, we
great.
call it a massive bank account. You got
I
your
like
MBA
that.
in
I'm gonna
Riman
use that.
University.
So
Massive.
I'm using that for sure. No, while I was waiting to go to grad school, I got bored, so I took a job. And at 20 years old, 21 years old, I was making $30,000 a year. But you know what? It was money. And I was like, I'm not going to grad school. This is like, I'm making money. And honestly, I think after taxes, it's something like $1,800 a month or something, right? But I was like, oh, I'm making money. So I ended up deferring Columbia for 3 years, never went. I never ended up going, but I ended up getting a job at JP Morgan, which got me my job here. But what's funny is this is another thing that I was actually going to share at the convention, possibly as I prepare everything that I'm doing for convention. But here's the thing. I was not qualified to be a partner at an investment bank. I had no business being at an investment
I
bank.
have
I
so many
studied
questions.
math.
I have so many questions.
Like I have no business being a national director at Riman, right? I had no experience. I did not take one business class at USC. I wanted to be a math professor, guys. Like I couldn't even read a balance sheet. But during the interview, I interviewed for 5 straight days in a row. I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, whatever this is, they're gonna pay me a lot. I will figure it out as I go. Like I didn't care. I wanted to land that job. I got the job first and I just figured, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out.
You
And
know,
then
I'm
I
hearing
ended
this
up
story, but it's kind of crazy because you know that saying success leaves clues, right? And it's like you already knew in your heart like what you wanted, and like when I hear this story, it's like what got you to where you are is the saying 90% of success is just showing up, right? And that's you.
right.
You showed up, right? And like what I like about your story is like you had all the hallmarks of someone that is a self-made, multimillionaire. What that is they say, when a golden opportunity is given to you, you're not supposed to say, I don't know. You just say yes and figure it out as you go.
Right.
You did that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did the same thing at Riman, right? But I
Just
figured it
held on to
out.
Danny's coattail, right?
Yes. You know what's crazy? This job was not easy. I had no experience. I had no business being at an investment bank. Okay. I just interviewed really well. And I came home to my dad and I was like, I want to quit. I hated it. I was like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this. It's a man's world. Everybody is a man, okay, in
Wait, I have
investment
to ask you
banking.
about that.
And it was 2005, right? 2004. And I literally was like, oh, in tears, like I don't want to work here anymore. And my dad said to me, your boss is the smartest and the wealthiest man you've ever met. you stay there and you learn as much as you can.
And he
I
saw
was like,
something in you.
yeah, I was like, oh,
Exactly.
okay.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, okay? When you say investment banking, I think of Wolf of Wall Street, stock trading,
Yeah.
leverage trading and like what is it called? Big firms and like big
Yeah.
brokerages. Let me ask you, that's a men's world, okay? You're either high profile family office money or maybe like I'm gonna keep it real, like Jewish connection, right? Because they're the most successful in the finance industry, right? So it's like like if you don't even have any of these connections or Harvard alumni or New York, like connections, you can't get in that circle. How did you get in? And I know that industry is like Wolf of Wall Street, like it's an alpha male driven. Like, how did you survive? And like,
It is.
what got you there? Like,
I worked faster and harder than anyone. So, but the first job I had, the one that I took part-time, that I was going to only stay for 3 months, I interviewed, got the job on the spot, and they hired me, and I just started. And you know what's crazy? The hours why I applied was because it started at 6 a.m. and I'm a morning person, and you're done by 2. So I would clock in and clock out. You had to punch in and punch out, okay? After
was
doing
that
this
based on
for,
Wall Street time?
uh-huh, yes.
So when the bell rings, so that's
Yep.
why it's 6 a.m. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And I got called in by the supervisor because they thought that I wasn't doing enough. And then they doubled my workload. I still left on time. Then they doubled my workload again. And then I ended up going to theirs to higher up saying, they keep accusing me of not working hard. They keep giving me more clients, but I'm doing everything. And then the the president of our department was like, "Oh no, we know this." They ended up giving me a raise and gave me 2 weeks off, and they were like, we know what you're doing. It's your supervisor who has no clue and all this stuff. And I realized, I just like outwork everybody, right? And it was time for me to leave. And so I went to JP Morgan. They told me there were 8 rounds of interviews and I got hired after one round. I think I just
Wow.
interview well, but again, I just speak like, okay, yeah, oh yeah, I could do this. I could do this, even if I have no idea what they're talking about, right? I'm like, sure, sure, sure. Okay, 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 right?
All the
And
hallmarks of a successful person. All the hallmarks. Figure it out as you go.
yes, I knew that I could figure it out, right? It's not as anything but maybe something medical, like a surgeon, I can figure everything else out, right? And so I figured I'd do that as it went. But I got really lucky in the sense that JP Morgan was in the building that my investment bank was in. And
Mhm.
somebody told me they were hiring. And so I was like, oh, let me try to go work there. And then I got my foot in the door, went to 5 rounds of interviews, and then I got the job. But I had
So
no idea what I was doing.
let me ask you this. What is trading like? How did you get exposed to day trading, like crypto and like futures and like how did you get into that?
So just from its proximity, being there, every day I have one whole entire monitor, just all trading, like quotes going off all day long. And it's mentorship, right? Learning from my boss who is 20 years older than me and he started out in investment banking. So it's just being coachable. I had to learn. When I was at JP Morgan, the start time was 7:30. I
Mm,
showed up at 6 a.m. when the lights didn't even turn on yet. And I didn't think anybody knew, right? But I knew I was behind. Now I'm in like the big leagues, right? And so I realized, okay, I need to show up before everyone. So start time was 7:30. I showed up at 6. Maybe about, 3, 4 weeks in, one of the managers said, "We know you've been coming in early by yourself." I literally didn't even do it for recognition. I just needed the time to catch up with everybody else. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's just knowing it's just being, where you need to be, then putting in the activities. I knew even with Riman, I was behind. Like this is my first time doing direct sales. So my team knows this. I had to learn how to sell, be a leader, learn how to present, I literally had to learn everything, did a crash course in marketing, I was living in a bubble doing investment banking, and then I had to learn how to work with everybody, the general public, every single person there possibly is, every age group. Before, I was used to just dealing with multi-million dollar hedge funds, and it was just processing, right? No
wow.
emotions. We don't even know what city they live in, if they have kids. We don't talk like that at all, right? In
Just
business,
numbers.
we just do deals.
Navigate on numbers.
Yep. And here at Riman, you have to learn everything. And like it was a whole new world, but it
Culture
was
shock.
fun.
Yeah.
Totally. It was
So let me
completely.
ask you this. We've heard your story many times through, how you found the product and stuff. But another angle I want to ask you is like, what was your initial thought process of direct sales, network marketing? Obviously, like the experience is always a new experience as you learn more. But like the initial, like, so people here on the call, you know, we got to assure them what they felt is normal.
Yes. So I never wanted to be in direct sales, right? Never. Like literally, oh my God, I thought they were weirdos. But I supported anybody who would sell or ask my friends. If my friends asked me to support their business, buy a vitamin, buy a lotion, I did because my parents did. There were always people at our church who were
The
selling
Amway
toothpaste.
ladies.
Yes, we had toothpaste, laundry detergent, like
Lister
so,
toothpaste. I remember that.
right? My parents never joined, but we had it in my house. And so I learned that from them. And so any friend who ever asked me to buy something, of course I did, but I never wanted to be that person. Okay. And I just kind of thought there was this ick to it, right? And I just like, oh, that's not for me. And it was also the timing. When my friends asked me to join, the companies had been around for like 15, 20 years already. And in my mind, it just didn't make sense. Like, how am I going to, who am I going to get to join or buy this stuff, right? So it wasn't of any interest to me. But with this one, not only were the products good, but for me, in large, it was mostly due to the timing. I did not want to pass this up. Like in my mind, I was so excited. The belief was there with the products because I knew the products worked. But the thing that got me going was the excitement. I was so excited. I wanted every single person that I knew that I joined an MLM.
Man, you have all the hallmarks of somebody that gets started, hits it hard, creates momentum fast. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's why you are where you are, that's the truth. It's like when you see leaders make it to the top, it's because, whether it was this journey or another journey, it's like they were already refined a little bit through a fire, you know what I mean? And I believe like people that are looking for a chance, Remon could be the refiner for them, right? That could refine them. And like how you said, this could be the last hurrah for you. You know what I mean? Especially where we are at our age. Now, let me ask you this, like, what was the initial breakthrough? Now you had excitement, enthusiasm. You and Dora were like excited about the product, and you guys were moving on excitement, because you don't know what you don't know. Like a 4-year-old girl is not gonna know what a 10-year-old knows, you know what I mean? Just by default. But explain to us really what was the breakthrough. I know the excitement, enthusiasm, the willingness was there, but what was
Yeah,
the actual breakthrough that took your business to whether it was team leader or director? I believe, yeah, like, like right when
sure.
I was looking to get started, you had hit director.
Yeah, that's right. So, and going back to what you were asking me just in the beginning and not feeling like I've been in everyone's shoes. I started as a planner. I got to senior manager by selling one product at a time.
Wow,
There were no starter kits. I didn't even know how to ask somebody to buy. I didn't know that the booster serum cream was even a thing because I wasn't using it. I was only using booster serum and Radiance 100 toner because I picked the products out of the gift box that was sent to my mom based on smell. And the booster serum had no smell, and the radiance and toner smelled good. So I grabbed those, and everything else I left because I didn't want to use oil. Like, the oil mist and the oil cleanser, I had no idea, right? And so I was using 3 products when I showed up to convention 2 weeks later. I literally, and my skin looked better for sure. Even just off the 3, I saw the transformation. But I really had no idea what I was doing. But I didn't want to live with the regret of not giving it a shot, which is why I had to go to the convention just to see, right? At this point, I was using it. I liked it. There was a convention going on. I'm like, okay, what do I have to lose? Let's just go see what this company is all about. But I walked into convention thinking that I was going to be annoyed. I walked
Mm,
in thinking this company, I'm gonna walk in and they're gonna be like acting all crazy and I'm gonna leave, right? I'm literally, this is how I got there with that kind of mentality, okay? Because I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anyone. And but what's crazy is within the first 5 minutes of walking in, something clicked. It was watching Chairman on, Betty and Danny were all on stage together, and they were just like such humble people. It wasn't what I was expecting. And I was like, oh my God, this company feels so legit. That happened within first 5 minutes. And then I was like just locked in, like in the zone, paying attention to everything, writing everything down. I mean, like it was crazy. But I after that convention, senior director Dora and I, it ended at 1 o'clock. We didn't know. We booked our flight for like 9 p.m. Okay, because we had no idea. We've never been to a convention before. So we were at Resorts World. We went to the food court, ordered food. We sat there, and both of us were sitting there like this. And we are like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? How are
overstimulated.
we going to do this? We need to do this. We need to we couldn't even talk to each other because our brains were nonstop. And we both sat there
Wait,
on our phones texting everybody.
let
We
me
need to
explain
do this.
something. Ladies and gentlemen, this story right here, this explanation is exactly what we train on for convention. What Karen Kang is explaining is the transfer of emotion, the transfer of emotion, the transfer of energy. This is what we talk about why you need to be at the convention. Because when Karen King walked in there, right, there's people from all walks of life, the energy, the light, the aura, the feeling, and then the message being sent. That in itself is the transfer of emotion, transfer of energy. That's what she felt. And then she had the conviction, and then you were overstimulated. Now you're like, all right, so how do we map this out? How do we make it happen?
Yeah, we had no idea. We've never done this before, right? So we just started like blasting it to all our friends. Yo, this is legit. This is legit. Everybody who we had talked to before who ordered from us, or who said no, who cares? We didn't care. We were forming our team right then and there. We were like just texting, texting,
Wait,
texting.
again, see how she moved fast? She didn't wait. Like she didn't even get trained on this, but she's already executing her 24-hour game plan right away. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, you have all the hallmarks of a leader, like without even being taught it.
we literally were we um wanted to move we wanted to move fast. Okay, that was the thing. Like we literally said we need to do this. Like
Sense of
let's
urgency.
hurry. Okay, and so we started blasting it to everybody, but we were blasting that we were also doing a pop-up at my house. We didn't even know it was called a pop-up. We just said, come over on Wednesday. So this is Sunday. We're like, come to my house, go to Karen's house on Wednesday, go to Karen's house on Wednesday. Like we're all getting together, we're getting together, we're getting together. I mean, it was crazy. Like the
All right.
excitement was nuts.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay, now you're at an excitement phase right now. Like when there's movement, excitement, hype, and then there's FOMO, that's what creates the big momentum, right? Now, as you were gaining momentum, like what was the also like, because there's different layers of momentum and breaking through, and also you get to grow in the process, right? What was your biggest aha moment when you had the momentum? Like when you saw your team grow before your eyes and like
Yeah.
your income's growing, your team's growing, the excitement is growing, like what was that experience like, and what did you do to harness that and keep it going, even till present day? Like what were the things that kept you consistently in the game?
Okay, so a few things. Good question. So to this day, I'm always recruiting. Okay, so just this month alone already, I recruited 2 people, and they've already recruited. One's already recruited 5,
Wow.
right? Yeah, and one is, I mean, like this is just how I like to build. I'm constantly adding people to my team. Okay. So I'm always doing the same activities because it's way too early for me to go into management mode. That would be a huge fail on my part. We're 3 years in, right? We're not even in all 50 countries yet. Like I
She's
need,
not in management mode. Karen is not in management mode.
yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have to learn how to balance, and that's why you need to plug into the systems. Like you guys have so many Zooms every single week. Just keep sending your people and you keep showing up too, but you have to keep staying in phase one, right? You have to keep recruiting. But where I realized like, oh my gosh, this is easy. Like that aha moment, like when that light bulb went off was if you understand the compensation plan, if you help enough
Mm,
people, this business is easy. The way the compensation plan is structured, you cannot build this business alone. So you keep adding people to your team and keep helping the people on your team succeed. Your success is inevitable because the compensation plan is made that way.
yep.
It's, it's like once you realize that, it becomes so simple.
Powerful and powerful.
Yeah.
That's why there's the saying, help others get what they want, and you'll get everything you want. That's how the compensation in our industry is designed to work based on teamwork and support. So that's the magic.
It is because if you look at, I'm sure with you too, Chris, like when you get paid on the 15th, like I would say almost a huge majority, maybe majority is from unilevel and leadership match. Then that
Matching
means
bonus.
that means
Huge.
that didn't come from me. That's other people's efforts, right?
Yeah, matching bonus. That's the real residual right there. Yeah.
You know?
So let
So
me ask you this. I have one question regarding this. So in your mind, okay, because I remember when you were a senior director, right? You, me, Tim, we all had a conversation. So Karen, when are you going ND? And you're like, oh my gosh, it's hard. I'm doing it, guys. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. What did that look like? Like mindset wise, packing your schedule and then running it part time. Take us through that journey. Like the actual moment you made that decision.
So, I had a talk with Mr. Danny Vay as well, and I was like, man. And then he told me this whole like psychology of people in direct sales. They usually get to the halfway mark, right? So people, if you tell them get to
Director,
team
they'll go team
leader,
leader.
yeah. Right? And
Exactly.
then I'm like, oh man, is that where I'm stuck? And I look at my team leaders who are trying to get to director, they're all stuck at 300, right? They're all between 300 and 400. It's like, oh, you just have to do a little bit more. I've been there, I've been there, and that's when I had to do a blitz. And I trained
Yes.
on that at the last convention. You're not gonna, if you need that extra push, you're not going to get there by doing one pop-up a week. Okay, I don't want to scare anybody. This is just reality. Just do it. If we're giving you the formula to get to director, it's just do more of what you're already doing, right? So if you're doing one pop-up a week, just do four. Okay, you could fit two in on Saturday, two in on Sunday. You only need to sacrifice this. Do this for 2, 3 months, wrap it up, and just get it done. And now you're a director. Maintaining director rank is easy. You get to count all that volume from all your team
All
leaders.
of it. All of it.
Okay. So it's not difficult to get there. But once I had that conversation, I know I've asked Chris and Tim so many times, Danny, I'm like, man, how do I get there? How do I get there? But I realized, okay, I'm standing in my own way. I had a dinner with Mr. Danny May, and he was like, you're comfortable. You're making the money. You don't want it badly enough, right? And I was like, it was just a one-on-one dinner. And I was like,
I already know how Danny said it to you.
oh my God. This is so true. I kept setting income goals for myself so that I can see this is how I function. I need to know how much work it takes to make 50,000 a month, 75,000 a month, 100,000 a month. I
There you
know
go.
I need to know what it takes to become a team leader, a director, a senior, a national director. So I need to do it first. I had to make $1 million so that I can tell my team I'm gonna create a million millionaires. If I don't even know what it cost, what it takes to earn $1 million, how am I going to help the rest of my team earn $1 million, right?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
here I am, comfortable, and I'm like, I'm good. I'll stay senior director forever. This is so easy. Like I'm fine right here, right? And then when Mr. Danny Bay said, "You're comfortable," I was
Ooh,
like,
he poked
"Dang
you.
it!" And then he said, you need to look, right?
Yeah.
You need to look for the people, like who on your team is actually doing the right activities.
Who wants
And
it bad just as much as you?
exactly. It's
Yes.
not skill set. It's not who's the prettiest. It's not who's the wealthiest. It's none of that. It's desire.
The
You're looking for the
hungriest.
person who jumps in and just starts without, just like we did, without knowing everything. The person who just is like ready to go, the person who's hungry, the person who wants to get it done. And then you go grab their hand and you run with them. You need to pick them up when they're down but you have to look. You have to, and I think a lot of leaders, you spend the majority of your time with the wrong people. Okay, so
Yeah.
you spend the majority of your time with the people who need the help because you feel like you're helping. Oh no, but I'm such a good leader. I'm helping all these people who need me, who need me, who need me, right? No, dude. Yes, set up the system for the people who need you. A lot of people doing a little bit adds up to a lot, but grab the hand of the people who show the desire and the will that they want to become a director and you run with them. And once I started to do that, I was like, okay. And this is when I was going to Vegas. Oh my gosh, weekend after weekend, I was because I needed a team leader, right? I needed a team leader to wrap this up. So I started, and the person, our newest team leader was in Vegas. Thankfully, it's a 35-minute flight, right? But I was going in and out, going in on Saturday, flying back on Saturday. And this is
Wow.
what I had to do. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm done like being like this, but I had to have some talks with them as well. How badly do you want it? Because we're all about building. I don't want anybody to get to team leader and then struggle to meet their 10,000 because they don't have a real team. So
Exactly.
in a way, I
Exactly.
feel like I failed them, which is why I never trained like that. And so I was like, listen, we just need to get in front of more people. Even when she had 15,000 left, it wasn't like, okay, you know what, let's just wrap this up for you. It was like, how many more events are we going to do this month, right? And then let's get in front of more people. Let's add more people to your team. And that's what we did. We wrapped it up and then it was done. But it was so true when Mr. Janive told me, I think you're comfortable and you're just enjoying the money that you're making right now.
Hey, I
And
mean, that's okay too, right? But it's just not okay with competitive people like you.
yeah.
He wanted to he wanted to scratch your inside and make you want to like, But you know what
Yeah.
though? He's not wrong, right? Because he knew you had it in you, right? Now, here's another question I really want to ask you. Like, this is more for the a woman's question, female. Okay, so for those of you that are mothers, whether you're married, single, but you have children, and then you have home duties, and then you have other stuff, and then to juggle Riman. Can you explain to the ladies, our beautiful, wonderful ladies, the pillar of this business, like what kind of mindset kept you in the game? Like,
Sure.
it's not easy, right? You're a mom, you have a job, you're running, you're a female general running an organization, and then life happens too, right? Just
Sure.
what keeps you laser focused? Like, because the new person might not have that tenacity just yet. They will have to borrow your confidence or your story.
Sure. I think it's not I think, I know it's mindset and how you show up every single day. So I like to say this to the team, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both, right?
Ooh.
And by nature, I'm not an excuse maker or a complainer, nor do I have victim mentality. Okay. And that's something that if you do, you can change that. You can always work towards having a positive mindset. Okay. But it's uh it's having that mindset where all these things aren't happening to you. Okay, it's being able to see it as an opportunity. Okay, so I get to do this. Yes, my son may have, caused all this trouble and I'm having a bad day, or I take care, I am responsible completely. Like my parents depend on me for every single penny in their life. They cannot function without me, and I take care of them for the last, gosh, over almost 20 years.
Karen, this is why
Like,
you're blessed. I just want to tell you that.
thank
That's the
you.
truth.
They pray for me, right? And so, and a lot is going on, and probably you guys have seen on my social media, but my mom is actually dying right now as well. So there's a lot going on within our family.
Let's
Um,
send some prayers for Karen's mom,
Thank
guys. Let's show
you.
her some
Thank
love.
you. Thank you. We are in a place of peace. Obviously, if you're a believer, we know that we will meet again in heaven, right? And so, my family is doing well. But I I believe that you do as much as you can do throughout the day and then go to sleep happy.
Boom.
Okay? Go to
Attitude.
sleep happy, not stressed, not worrying about every single thing that you have to do. Get rest, because if you are operating from a place of sleep deprivation, you cannot function. You will be short-tempered. Things that are small will seem bigger than you. The problems will just appear bigger. Get your sleep. Okay, get your sleep. And here's the magic. Wake up happy.
Ooh. Amazing.
Okay, if you can wake up happy and looking forward to the million things that you have to do, it totally changes your perspective on life and everything. Then things aren't being thrown at you and life isn't happening to you. It's you get to do all these things. And nothing in life is easy. Okay, nothing at all. You guys don't see, maybe on social media it seems like everything is so fun and all this. It never ends, right? But I
Choose your
choose
hard.
to. I choose
Choose your
to.
hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
I choose to live on Zoom. I choose to do this. You know, my schedule is crazy. After we hang up, I have another call with Latin America. You know,
Woo.
it's Friday night, right? And I'm at a staycation over here, but I choose to do this because what, like you said, choose your heart. It's either you do the work now or you suffer later, right?
Yep.
But it's enjoying the process. Nothing is easy. If you wanted to become a pro, NBA player, golfer, anything, you're going to have to put in all the hours of training, right? Nothing that you want in life that's worth getting is going to come easy. Okay.
Yeah.
And in this business, if we're telling you, if there are people who have done it first, okay, whether, it's the national directors, even senior directors, even just directors, there are directors making, life-changing income. There are even team leaders. There are even team leaders. If we're telling you you need to do X, Y, and Z to make $50,000 a month, what's stopping every single person on this call from doing X, Y, and Z?
Exactly.
If I told you, hey, if you drive over to this place and then run 10 miles up this mountain, you're gonna find a pot of gold, or you're gonna find a pot with $1 million. Are you going to do it? Yes,
How
I
would you
just
do it,
gave you
right?
the map. Right. If I give you the roadmap to get you to a place where you can find $1 million, you're going to go find it.
Yep.
It's the same thing in this business. You do the simple activities. We're not asking you to do anything that we wouldn't do. We're not asking you to do something that is humanly impossible. You just need to open your mouth and talk to more people,
Yes.
right? That's it. Anybody can do this job, but also anybody can choose not to. Anyone can be a director. You just have to talk to more people than the people on your team. If 80% of the people aren't doing the right activities, don't fall into that trap and say, oh, well, this doesn't work for everyone. This isn't for me. No, be the top 1% or be the top 5% and do the activities that other people aren't willing to do. If you want to succeed in this business, don't make excuses. Just do the things that you're supposed to be doing. And don't
Exactly.
mistake it with don't just stay busy telling yourself, oh, well, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. I mean, are you really trying? Did you make that many phone calls today? Did you talk to enough people? Are you taking care of the people who joined your team? Don't fret about the person who said no to you today when you don't even know the last person who joined your team from your whole downline. You
Ooh.
have to do the right activities and focus. Don't, Mr. Janivay said, don't major in minor things, right? I love that line. Don't sit there and worry about the things that aren't going to move the needle. Instead, focus your time and energy and do the things that are going to grow your business, that will take your business to the next level. I'm telling you, it's not hard. There are how many 8 billion people living in this world? You just have to talk to more people. We know which countries have launched. It's even USA, it's wide open. Everywhere is wide open. If you just have to ask. You know what I always say? I know I think we're running out of time. Yeah. I'll leave you with this. When we have an event, okay, the person who says this the most are Tim and Chris, build from event to event, right? When you have an event, when there is an event within your team, and they say, oh, hey, are you guys coming to Thursday? Or, are you guys coming to this? I mean, it's amazing. We have a lot of DBK members who go to the Thursday events in there at the HQ. But instead of just like, oh no, I'm busy, it's not about you. It's you have to see in your team. Hey, do you guys know anybody who maybe is in Irvine that can come to Thursday? Even if you're in Ohio, you're in New York, or you're in Florida, it's not about like, oh no, 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 I don't know anybody there. Did you even ask your team? That's one of my pet peeves. When somebody replies to me like that, I'm not
Yeah.
asking
When you
you.
should try to go that little extra mile, right?
Exactly. I'm like, hey,
That's
we have
all
a
the difference
pop-up.
maker. That's what makes that difference, that
Exactly.
little extra mile.
Seriously, when somebody answers me that fast, when I say, hey, do you know anybody in Las Vegas? No. Like, we have a pop-up in Las Vegas. Oh, I don't know. I can't. I'm busy. I'm like, I'm not asking for you. Can you go ask your team?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing. Senior director Dora does the best. If she knows there's a pop-up going on somewhere, she's gonna find someone in that city to go there, right?
Man, that's why she's an SD. That's why she's a senior director, right? It's like
Yeah,
find a way or make one or force the result.
for
Miss
sure.
Karen Kang, you're amazing. I want to thank you so much for your time. In closing, just we'll end this real quick, but just quick message why you need to be at the next convention. Can you just in word of closing?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna say that convention, you just buy a ticket and get to convention. It's not about you, okay? It's the convention is where you're going to decide. It wasn't the convention that helped me become successful. It was the decision that I made while I was at the convention.
Ooh,
Okay. And that there's a difference there. And for us, you can see it as training. This is what keeps us together. They say stay close to the fire, but it's not about you.
ooh,
Whenever I hear somebody say, "Oh, the convention's going to be the same as the last time," oh, that's another one of my pet peeves, then all you're thinking about is yourself.
yep.
This has nothing to do with you. If you've been to a convention before, you should not be showing up to this next convention alone. Okay, this is
There's a
how
new
you
one,
build your team.
new person.
Yeah, it's for the new person. So why is Tuesday orientation the same every single Tuesday? Because it's not for you. It's for the new person that just joined
And
your
if you're a
team the
leader,
previous week.
there is nothing new for you to learn either. Just master that.
It's seriously this the convention is should be a non-negotiable. This will be my personal eighth convention. I get excited. I can't even wait for the convention. We all
Me
know what
too.
happens at conventions. Like try to get as many people there as possible and let the convention do the work for you. It's
Yeah,
just that proximity of getting people in there, hearing other people's stories, because there's going to be some kind of light bulb that goes off, or there's so many speakers, master classes, something is going to resonate with your guest or your friend. You don't even have to tell them what it's about. You don't even have to say the word Riman because this is how I invite. I'm like, dude, you need to check this out with me. I don't want you to regret this. We're
yeah.
in Vegas. You live there, just come. Okay, just come and check it out. Like they don't even know what they're coming to. I had somebody fly from Thailand to the Macau convention without even knowing what the company's name was. I just said, "Yo, we're launching in Thailand." I don't even know when. I said, "You need
Just
to come check
show
this
up.
out." Yeah. And then they got so excited and now they can't wait for Thailand to open. Don't make the decision for anyone. The convention is a tool and it's the most valuable and important tool in growing your business. Let the
Fire.
convention do the work for you. Just like when I walked in and saw Mr. Danny Bay and Miss Betty Perez and Chairman On, that's what did it for me. No amount of convincing on the side could have been more effective than me being there and experiencing it with
Seeing and
Director
feeling for
Dora and
yourself.
myself. Yeah, it's just not the same. You cannot eat a juicy steak and then tell your friend, "Oh, it's so good," right?
Exactly. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Miss Karen Kang number two, showing her how grateful we are, how much we love her. And again, we want to see every single one of you at the Las Vegas convention. You're going to be able to spend some time with Miss Karen Kang. You're going to be able to hear her story. She will be doing her national director speech. I would say probably this event is going to be Karen Kang's event. Okay. So with that said, let's show her some love. Let's make our way to the Las Vegas convention, spend time with her. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Miss Karen Kang. Thank you
Thank
so much for your
you.
precious time. Team
No, thank you
DBK, I
for
see you
having
guys. I see all
me.
of you. Thank you for your participation. Everybody showed up. All right, so I
Whatever
want to
you
thank everybody
do,
for the call.
Chris,
Yep.
let me just tell everyone, whatever you do, just don't quit.
Yes.
Nobody can fire you, you know?
Yes.
Nobody can fire you. You never know when you're going to meet that next person. And everybody that you're talking to right now is a seed that you're planting. You're
Yeah.
not going to see the benefit from this person that you're investing into for probably 6 months. But if
Yep.
you quit before those 6 months are up, you've completely like missed out on an opportunity. Give yourself time to succeed in this business. It's not going
Yes.
to happen overnight, but every single person you're talking to is a new seed that you're planting. Just keep watering those seeds and then watch everybody grow. But you need to give yourself time to succeed. So whatever you do, don't quit. Just stick with us and see you guys in Las Vegas.
Thank you. See you guys in Las Vegas. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We love you. We'll see you at the top, Karen. You're the best. See you soon. Bye, guys.